Good morning. This is October the 24th, Thursday, and we are in BBIS first semester compulsory English class, where we have just started reading the essay Rhymes with Fun, Jew, Free by Manjushri Thapa. And yesterday, I talked about two things. I said, whatever you read any time in your life and career, there are two things to look for. One, what is given there, the what. Two, how is that presented? I explained that yesterday. And I said, if you know the how, you will better understand the what. Then I give example that this text, if you ask the question, how does Manjushri Thapa write this text? Plain answer comes, she writes this text in the form of an essay. This is an essay. Now you should understand there are subcategories or types of essays. Broadly speaking, an essay can be personal and impersonal. What is personal essay? Where a writer writes subjective things, personal feelings about things. This essay is a personal essay, not impersonal essay. Now, come in. Lock the door. Lock the door. Okay. Take a seat. Now, under personal essay, we have some other categories. Personal essays are meditative essays. For example, what is a meditative essay? In a meditative essay, a writer picks up a topic and sounds like she or he is talking to herself, himself. It's more philosophical, right? Now, personal essays are also reflective. I repeat, they are reflective. What does reflection mean? A writer picks up a topic and expresses her views on it, her opinions on it. Reflection is subjective. Reflection is personal. Reflection is thinking about a topic or issue. So this is a reflective essay. More than that, this is a narrative essay. There are descriptive essays also. What is a descriptive essay? Descriptive essay is one in which the writer vividly describes a scene, emotion, feeling using images, powerful images. This guy comes late almost every day. He came late even yesterday. I'm not going to let him in. Okay. There are explanatory essays. There are cause and effect essays, and many more. This essay is narrative. What does it mean? Narrative essay deals with the writer's past, and the writer uses past simple tense in writing narrative essay. Second thing, narrative is more about actions in the past. So you will see that in narrative essays, you will find abundance of verbs, main verb. This happened, I did this, I did that, I went there, I ate this, I met him. You will see a lot of verbs. Why? Because the writer is describing or narrating what happened in her life in the past. And she uses past simple tense. Because the writer is talking about her past, such essays are memoir essays. MEMOIR. Memoir is a very popular genre of writing. If you want to grow as writers in English language in coming days, one easy way for you can be pick up a diary and every evening before you go to bed, write your memories of that day. This is what I had asked you to do right when our classes started, if you remember, and you stopped doing. Do you remember? On day 1 or day 2 when our classes started, I had asked you buy a diary, make it a private diary, and I had asked you maintain an academic journal. Some of you maintained for a few days, I remember. But most of you did not, because habits are formed when we are 5 years old to 10 years old. And why you can't write? Why you don't like writing? Because you are 17, 18, you have never written. Now you hate it because it's not your habit. You should make good things habits of your life. Then you develop. Some people make bad things habits of their life. Depends on your own philosophy. So I said you can maintain an academic journal where you do a simple thing. Before you go to bed, keep that diary by the bedside. Before you fall asleep, pick it up and simply record your memory of that day. Begin by early morning when you woke up. And write when you woke up, how you woke up, what you heard, and go on recording all the things throughout the day. And you will soon see that as you record what happened in your life throughout the day, you will feel like commenting on those things. That commenting part is reflection. And that commenting part triggers your thinking. And that commenting part develops your critical thinking, reflective thinking, and that is more important for growth in life. Just recording facts is less important. But expressing your views on the facts is more important. Okay, so I was saying this is a memoir essay. Next, memoirs, as I said, are autobiographical. If writers are writing about their own life. So this is an autobiographical essay. And autobiographical essays or memoirs are known as life writing. So this essay is an example of life writing. There is a very popular genre in literature taught at the university titled as life writing. In life writing, you will read essays, books, and other genres in which writers write about life. What may be more pleasing than writing about your life or somebody's life? Fine. So I told you the how. Now, once you know this is reflective essay, once you know this is memoir essay, once you know this is an essay about life writing, once you know this is a narrative essay, now you will ask the question, what are the writer's memories in this essay, Divakar sir? I want to know. Because I told you this is a memoir. Now, let's briefly talk about the what. You will know the what only when you have finished reading the essay. But if you Google, for example, if you just Google this essay and then maybe Google will help you about what may be there. Because if you Google this essay right now, Google will show my YouTube channel link because I taught this essay and uploaded. But it's not a good idea to Google before you read the essay. Googling an essay before you read is getting other people's opinion about your would-be wife before you see her. This may mislead you. You are getting married with somebody, you want to know about the guy or girl you haven't met. So you decide to ask her friend about how she is, and you depend about her character or her personality on your or her friend. That may be quite misleading. So please never Google about a reading text without reading it at least once. Read it first, mark what difficulties you face as you read, then Google. Okay, now we'll read. I have already talked to you about diasporic writing. I've talked about alienation, nostalgia, loneliness, search for identity, etc. in my previous class. Now I will move ahead to the text itself without wasting my time. Okay, I will read it line by line and I'll explain you as better as possible, as good as possible. Okay. The receptionist looks over the waiting room, clipboard in hand. She is a middle-aged woman, dusky, of unreadable national origin, the face of multicultural Canada. She stammers, Manjari Tapas. Paragraph 1. Let's comment about the paragraph. You see, this paragraph is written using present simple tense. It's important to understand. Why? Because the writer is depicting a scene here. The writer is depicting a scene here. In Where Do We Stand, paragraph 1, if you remember, Lisa Davies writes in present simple tense. Now, writers, when they are creating a scene to begin their writing, they often use present simple tense. So, we meet a character now. This is a narrative. Narratives have characters. In your note copy, you should make headings about elements of narrative and then go on noting as you read. For example, under the heading character now, you will note down number 1. We see the receptionist. Note down, for example. After you note the receptionist, you will write comments about her. For example, she is, note down in your copy now, she is a middle-aged woman. First feature. Whenever you note characters while reading a text, under their name, you must describe the characters. Note down how the writer describes the characters. So now we find that Manjushri Thapa describes her as a middle-aged woman. Second detail, she is dusky, dark in color. Second feature of this lady. Then she has unreadable national origin. This is very important. Why does Manjushri Thapa begin by mentioning this fact that the receptionist has unreadable national origin? Because this essay, if you have read, this essay is about identity, political identity, cultural identity, national identity, global identity. So she says that this, you could not figure out to what country she belonged to. Right? Then move ahead. The face of multicultural Canada. Right in the very opening paragraph, Manjushri Thapa tells us that she will talk about multiculturalism in this essay. So one important theme, do not yawn, hello. Do not yawn, please. If you need to go and wash your face or feel fresh, you can go and wash your face if necessary. Do not yawn. When we explain such things, I understand the class may be dull. I do realize, but I have no option. Because he came late, the presenter came late, so I am taking the class. Okay. Multicultural Canada. So, multiculturalism is one theme of this essay. Manjushri Thapa will discuss the impact of multicultures on our growth. For example, she will tell how she felt living in Sri Lanka, she might tell how she felt living in Philippines, she might tell how she felt living in Canada, she will tell how she felt living in America, she will tell how she felt with Hindu culture at home, she will tell how she felt with Western culture outside home. Multiculturalism. Okay. Now this is also very important. Why? The receptionist is not able to pronounce her name correctly. This happens with many of us. When I tell foreigners, my name is Divakar, they can't understand. Then I say T-H-E-D-W-A-L-K-E-R, Walker, not Johnny Walker. Then they catch the Walker. Right? So, in the opening paragraph, to wrap up, she begins by using present simple tense. She creates a scene. What scene? It's a clinic, a medical clinic. The narrator is waiting for her turn for the doctor, and when her turn comes, the receptionist calls her by her name. But the receptionist cannot pronounce her name correctly. Now what do you see here? This character, Manjushri Thapa, or let's not say Manjushri, let's say this lady. This lady, in the very opening paragraph, shares a difficulty she faces in Canada. And this essay is about the difficulty we face when we grow in a foreign country. This essay is about the difficulty we face as we grow in a foreign country. So, to begin the theme, how we feel when we grow in a foreign culture, she begins with an example. Look how she mispronounces my name and I have to correct her. Move ahead. As I read at home, what I do, I prepare phonetic transcriptions of the lessons to make sure I learn correct pronunciation. This is my way. It's not in a book, so I prepare it myself. Because if you can pronounce the receptionist first character we meet in the story, use of present simple tense. If you learn to pronounce this writing, you will have a wonderful pronunciation. You will have correct pronunciation. So one way to improve pronunciation in English is get this transcription. And don't read this, read this. Delete it. And in a soft copy, have only this in mobile. And every day, practice reading from this transcription. Soon you will see your pronunciation becomes 100% correct. It will become like native English. Move ahead. Yes, I stand up. Now here, let me comment now. I wrote narrator. In narrative essays, the first thing you should look for is who is telling us the story. So the narrator is someone who tells us a story, right? So in this story, it's a first person narrator, because we will see that the speaker uses the word I, the pronoun I, okay? And it's singular. Now we will also pay attention to characters. By now we have met two characters. One, we saw the receptionist. Second, we saw the narrator. The receptionist and the narrator. And we know both of them are female characters. Both of them are female characters. Move ahead. If I have italicized a text, it is not part of the essay. It is my commentary. Okay. She flashes me an anxious smile. Look, the courtesy. She smiles at her. See, look, this word flash is very important. What is flashing? You are waiting in a hall and you are not quite personally known to the person, receptionist. When you meet a stranger and if you smile at them, it's not expected, but you smile to maintain good relation. It's called flashing, showing something unexpectedly. To flash means to show something suddenly, unexpectedly. It may even shock people, but this is positive. She flashes me an anxious smile. What is, look here, it's not simply smile, it's anxious smile. As we read, we should pay attention to every single word. That is called close reading. What is anxious smile? When you are anxious, you are a bit uncertain. When you are anxious, you are a bit uncertain about results. So when she pronounced her name, the receptionist herself knew that she was not pronouncing the name correctly. And she thought that this may offend this lady. So to make sure that she doesn't offend, she smiles. To maintain that offensive impression. Because she knows that I'm not able to pronounce her name correctly. Right? I'm not sure I got your name right, she clarifies. Having grown up in a funny foreign name, I understand her anxiety. I feel it my duty to quell it. That was perfect, I say. Now this issue, having grown up with a funny foreign name. This is important here because this essay is about the experience of growing in foreign culture. This essay is about the experience of growing in a foreign country, foreign culture. And right in the very beginning, she is giving an example. For example, when you grow in foreign culture, people over there might not be able to pronounce your name correctly. And this creates problems many times. Look here, she is correct. That was perfect. The doctor will see you now, Manjuri. She is not Manjuri, she is Manjushri. And the receptionist cannot pronounce Manjushri. She pronounces Manjuri. Now let me pass a comment now. By the time we have ended the first section, there are sections in this story, 10-page story, there are sections. Now let me talk about context or occasion. When you read a narrative, ask these questions. When you read a narrative like this one, ask these questions. Who is telling me the story? Ask this question. And the guy or girl who may be telling you the story is known as the narrator, or more formally, he is known as the rater. I'm introducing a new word to you now to understand. The word R-H-E-T-O-R, rater, comes from Greek language. An orator is somebody who is speaking in public. Right now, your English teacher is the rater in this class. Now, the word rater develops into the word rhetoric. Let me write R-H-E-T-O-R-I-C. What is rhetoric? Rhetoric is an attempt to persuade. Attempt to convince somebody. The word rhetoric simply means you speak to persuade somebody about something. You try to convince somebody about something. So right now in this class, Divakar sir is making a rhetoric on this essay. Divakar sir is explaining this essay and he is trying to convince you that his explanation is fine. This is rhetoric. And from rhetoric, we have the word rhetor, R-H-E-T-O-R. Rhetor simply means a speaker in public. If you speak inside the bedroom with locked door, you are not a rhetor. Rhetor is a public speaker. So we ask a question. Rhetor. Now, second question you ask is, who is the addressee? Because if I speak, I cannot turn this side and have an empty room and go on speaking. Right now, you are my addressee. I am speaking to you. You are my listener. You are my audience. You are my reader. You are my addressee. So a rhetor always speaks to an audience. If it is a movie, we have audience. If it is a book, we have a reader. If it is over the radio, we have listener. If this classroom was being broadcast over radio right now, I'll be having audience. If I was writing this thing and you were reading, I'll be having a reader. Now we are visually present, so we have audience. Right? Third question you ask is, what is the message? Because every time someone speaks to you, even if they speak for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you have a gist of what they said. You had a half an hour conversation and you say, yes, I got your point. I'll follow that. So what is the message? What do I want you to follow? What do I want you to do? What action do I want you to take in your life? That is the message. Then next question is, what is the medium? Medium means, am I speaking to convey my message? Or am I writing to convey my message? Medium. Spoken medium or written medium? Next question is, what channel is being used? Right now, this is a face-to-face communication. When I upload my video this afternoon, and you happen to watch later on evening if you find time, that will be digital channel. That will be digital. This is a live class. We have, this is a verbal medium, and this is face-to-face class. But if I am recording, if I upload, you watch over my YouTube channel, that will be a digital channel, internet channel. Then this all is briefly known as, now new term I'm introducing, I'm telling a new term to you, R-H-E-T-O-R-I, rhetorical, S-I-T-U-A-T-I-O-N, situation. We call all this as a rhetorical situation. If someone asks you, tell me what is rhetorical situation, simply say, as we read any poem, any story, any essay, any drama, we know there is somebody speaking to us, the rhetor. 1. We know the rhetor is conveying some message. 2. We know that message is addressed to an audience. 3. We know the rhetor is either speaking or writing. Medium. 4. We know the rhetor is using a channel, either face-to-face or digital or some print. Suppose you are reading a book, that's a print medium, right? Is it print medium? Is it oral medium? Is it written medium? Is it digital channel or analog channel? What? And that's all is called as rhetorical situation. Now let's apply this idea to this essay right quickly. So in this essay, the rhetor is a young lady. who is visiting a clinic to get checked up by a doctor. Writer. The addressee is, now it's a difficult question, because right now we are reading her essay. So we are the addressee. Do you think Manjushri Thapa ever intended us to read an essay? No. So we are not her intended reader, because Manjushri Thapa never knew that somebody will pick up her essay and prescribe in BBIS course. So she didn't intend us to read her essay. She published this essay in 2013 in Himal South Asia magazine. So the readers and subscribers of Himal South Asia magazine are the intended reader, because Manjushri knew that next week my essay is going to be published in Himal South Asia magazine, and all those people who subscribe, they will read. And if you are aware, Himal South Asia magazine is a magazine mostly read by young, adult, educated people. It's not a family magazine, it's a political, social, cultural magazine. So, now there is something called real reader. We are the real reader. Right now we are reading her essay. Manjushri Thapa may be somewhere having breakfast early morning. Does she know we are reading? No. She does not know. Real reader is what? A reader who has flesh, who has blood, who has bone. That is called a real reader. I am the real reader. I can feel if I draw my, if I pinch my cheek. I am a real reader. You are the real reader. Got it? Okay. Then what is the message? Right now we don't know the message. We have to finish reading the essay. Then we'll know the message. Right? Medium. Right now it's digital medium, because you are seeing this essay on the smart board. Right? Right now it is digital. If you have a printed copy, that's a print medium. And it is coming as a writing, it is written medium. Channel, face-to-face channel. Move ahead. Look how many things are there to consider. Now we move into second section. Section 1, which was very brief, she just introduces the scene. Take a pen and copy. Take a pen and copy. Take a pen and copy.